Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you have all had a wonderful day. Today's video is a bit of a different setting. We have not sat here since October. It's been a long old while. So today's video is going to be kind of like a reading and goals wrap up for 2021 and kind of what's going to happen with my reading going forward in 2022. So I'm gonna kind of just dip into a little bit of everything that I'd kind of planned for 2021 and just wrap it up with you guys. So I did have 10 books that would self-destruct in 12 months. Most of those have gone. The only 3 that are remaining that I still haven't read are here, and they are the Girl Online books by Zoe Sun. Now, I planned on completely decluttering them off my shelf by the end of 2021 if I hadn't read them. However, I'm going to leave them there for another year. I'm going to try and start the first one, if possible, as soon as possible, because then I can kind of gauge whether I want to read the other 2 or not. So that is my plan. They're going to stay. My goal for the year was to read 100 books. I didn't quite reach it. I think I reached 77. You'll have to have a check on my Goodreads. I believe it's 77. I didn't quite make it. Once October hit, I had so many plans for October and so many books I wanted to read, and it just didn't go to plan. I hit the biggest reading slump that I have had for a really long time, and I just didn't really read anything. I think I managed to, let me just get my reading journal out. I think I managed to read, what did I read in October? Let's see. So October, I managed to read Extras by Scott Westerfeld. I also managed to read Rachel Kane's Glass Houses and the Dead Girls Dance, which are the Morganville vampire series. And I ended up actually decluttering that series. It's just not something that I am into anymore. Like, I really thought it would interest me, but it just hasn't. I find it really kind of samey, and I don't think I can force myself to read 15 of those books. So I have decluttered them. I've given them to my sister, and hopefully she will enjoy them more than I did. I then went on to listen to basically just audiobooks for the rest of the year. So I listened to David Leviathan's Dash and Lily's Book of Dares. I really didn't enjoy the book. I gave it 3 stars, and I have decluttered the book. But I really enjoyed the Netflix series, so if you haven't watched it, maybe you should. It's pretty good. And then I read Anne Cleeve's Telling Tales. It's one of the Vera books. I have solely listened to the Vera books since October to the end of the year. And then I also listened to Enid Blyton's 5 Have a Wonderful Time. My October TBR was so long and it just didn't happen. November, I listened to Anne Cleeve's Hidden Depths and Silent Voices. Again, Vera books. They were very good. I really enjoyed them. I gave them 4 stars. But I just didn't do very well with it. And then in December, I had such a big plan to read all the Christmas books I had on my shelf, and I managed one. And it was only 280 pages. It was Debbie McCrummer's Dashing Through the Snow. I really, really enjoyed it, and it was definitely like a seasonal read, but I just didn't feel the urge to pick up any books. It was a slow slog, but I do have a plan for 2022. So yeah, I really enjoyed a lot of the books I read this year. My favourites were probably Queen of Nothing by Holly Black. I read that with Nikki in a buddy read at the beginning of the year, and I loved it. I also really enjoyed The Exact Opposite Okay, which was a recommendation by Nikki, and I would love to reread it again soon. I really, really enjoyed that. As I said, I really enjoyed the Vera books. Yeah, there were so many good books this year that I think I just exhausted myself towards the end of the year, and I couldn't do it. I was struggling a little bit mental health wise and just bobbing quite happily along, but the urge to pick up a book just did not come along. I enjoyed listening to them on audiobook, but that's about as good as we got, unfortunately. I also plan to read 20,000 pages. I'm not sure if that happened. I don't think it probably did, but it was a good goal to have. So yeah, they were my kind of book wrap-ups. It's a really short video, but I kind of wanted to get you guys up to date before going into 2020. I do have a new TBR game that I'm going to be doing, and that video will be coming out very, very soon. You are going to have about 2 or 3 videos on the 31st, which is today, to watch. Hopefully I can get them edited and out to you ASAP. But yeah, so there's kind of my bookish wrap up and goals that I wanted to complete. I didn't reach the 100 and I'm okay with that. So because of that, I'm going to lower my goals slightly for 2022. But that's coming in my new TBR game video. Then life goals. Didn't quite go to plan. So I wanted to complete my no-buy, with the exception of birthday and Christmas money, and to use up / finish products first. That didn't 100% go to plan. I didn't really buy much makeup at all. I think I bought a couple of products here and there. But I didn't really buy loads. But I did buy a lot of clothes. I did buy a lot of plants. So it didn't quite go to plan. I'm okay about it. There's nothing I've kind of bought in that I've regretted bringing in, but I really wish I'd been able to kind of stick to the no-buy. My goal as well was to save £2,000. That also didn't really go to plan. I managed to save about 1,000, and then I had various things go wrong with my car that I had to pay out for. Christmas obviously came along, and if you haven't seen my Where Have I Been video, I got engaged in October, and some of that went towards putting down little deposits for things here and there. So yeah, at the end of the year I have £50 in my savings account, which isn't ideal. I really hoped I could reach that £2,000 goal, but it didn't quite happen. Unfortunately, things do just kind of take over, and yeah. So I think if I'd been better with my no-buy, I probably could have reached that goal and had some left over at the end of it. But as I said, you know, you can't foresee things going wrong with your car and stuff like that. So it is what it is. I also had a goal to pay my mum back some money. And I started paying her, and then there's an account that my mum and dad set up to kind of, for me and my sister to have some money out of when we got older for things like houses and weddings and stuff like that. And I have asked them to just take out the money I owe them out of that account and have it for themselves. Because I knew that with obviously lots of things going wrong, I just wasn't going to be able to pay them back in as much time as I would like. They were totally fine with it. They weren't asking me for the money, but I felt like I wanted that off my conscience and not something that I wanted to worry about. So I'm considering them paid off, and then that is done, and that's fine. The other goal I had was to get my car door fixed. So somebody drove into my car right outside my house last year or the year before, and it had a dent in the door. I actually looked into how much it would cost to have it fixed, and it's actually cheaper to buy a whole new, brand new door. So for the time being, it's not a priority. It doesn't affect the use of the car, so I'm just gonna live with the fact there's a dent there. But never mind, it's okay. I'm not overly worried about it. And then the last thing I had was to complete another 30-day declutter. I did that and a bit more. I completed the 2021 item declutter. If you haven't seen that update, you definitely should, because it's a cracker. But yeah, I'm pretty pleased with most of that. I did pretty well with some of it I didn't do so well, but I'm not gonna kind of try and make myself feel guilty about not having achieved certain things. They're there because they're things I would like to have done, but sometimes life takes over and those things don't always go to plan. So that's okay. I'm fine with that. I do plan on doing a no buy in 2022. That video will go up soon. I haven't kind of planned that video yet or what my rules are or anything like that. So that will come soon-ish. But yeah, I really wanted to get this video out and update it to you guys. Stay tuned for my new TBR game. I'm very excited about it. And yes, I hope you all had a wonderful 2021, even with like life being a little bit difficult given the pandemic and stuff like that. I hope you managed to find something good and something happy to take out of the year. Yeah, that's everything for me. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.